Welcome to my new build garden, and today I want to give you a little tour of how everything's looking now we're well into spring and we've got tulips everywhere, loads of different spring bulbs and lots of things growing. So Rags and I thought we would give you a little tour of the garden to show you. Should we go show? Come on in, let's go. Come on in. This way, come on. So this is our Hoggin gravel path, which is lined with some miscanthus grass, which is finally growing back because I chopped it back and I wasn't sure if it was going to grow back, but it's started to grow, which is so great. And then we've also got loads and loads of alliums along here, which are gorgeous purple, kind of like ball-like flowers. I'll insert a clip of what they look like when they're flowering because they're not far off. I actually replanted these in the autumn because I did have some when they were about 5 years old, and last year they didn't look their best, so I've replanted. These are all new bulbs. Some of them are a lot smaller, but there's also some really bigger flowers coming up too. Also, for the first time this year, I have planted some muscari along the edges. I'm hoping this kind of self-seeds, and I don't know if I'm going to regret this decision, but I love how it looks along the edge of the paths. So I'm really loving how this part of the garden is looking. We've got a mixture of different tulips in here. I've got my gorgeous climbing rose. There are some geums. This is a sedum. I've got some anemones, Japanese anemones, which will flower later in the year. Lots of different tulips. We've got the peony, an aquilegia. There's actually a hollyhock hidden in here, but this has got so big. And then above us here, we've got our evergreen magnolia tree. So this has been in the garden for 5 years and it flowered for the first time last summer, just in time for us to see it when we got back from our honeymoon. But I'm not quite sure if it flowers every year following that, but hopefully, because the flowers are so beautiful. But unlike most magnolias, which are flowering now, the evergreen magnolia flowers in sort of later in the summer, July time. So this is my newest border. You would have seen when we did the lawn edging, I actually widened this. It used to be a lot thinner and just have alliums, whereas now it is very busy. And to be honest with you, it's probably a little bit too busy, but I'll see as things grow, I can always move things around. I've got loads of different things in here. So I've got a couple of geums, this one here, which is totally tangerine, which is a couple of years old now, which is looking gorgeous. This one I just recently added. I can't remember the variety, but it's a lot more frilly. Got my little Regs ornament here. There's some Ami in there, my sweet peas, which I actually planted out a few weeks ago. I took the risk and actually it's paid off. They're doing really well. Still not that tall, so they're not quite ready to be tied in, but it shouldn't be long. I've also got some more sweet peas back here, which are doing really well. There's all my alliums, and I've got a few more roses which I added as bare roots back in the winter. So I've got Tranquility here, another David Austin, and then Queen of Sweden, which I've wanted for ages, which I'm really excited about. I've got a few different roses in the garden, but this is definitely my favourite. This is David Austin Gabrielle Oak, which is a shrub rose, and it has gorgeous dark pink flowers. Flowers kind of early summer all the way through to the autumn. So it's a really good one, and the flowers smell amazing. They've got a gorgeous scent, and I can actually see there's a few different flower buds appearing, which is really exciting. Then underneath I've underplanted it with a hardy geranium. Now I can't remember what this variety is called, but it's started to get a few flowers, and hardy geraniums are so good because you can literally just like pull it out and plant it somewhere else and it will spread all over the garden. Also some tulips in here. So this is Lilac Wonder, which is one of my absolute favourites. There's a few of those dotted around, as well as some random ones that I had left that I've just popped in the border. I also have this really random area underneath the magnolia tree, which has a spurge in it, like another little euphorbia, and a few verbenas, which are coming up. But I don't really know what to plant in here because it's quite shady. Nothing I've ever put in there has worked. So if anyone's got any ideas of what I can put in this back corner, because there's quite a lot of space and I don't think I'm using it to the best that I should be. So it's absolute chaos over here in the vegetable garden. There is stuff everywhere because I have decided to sow far too many things that I probably don't need. But I've got my new raised bed, which I put in the other day, which at the moment has just got loads of seedlings on top of it, but I'm gonna plant those out soon. I've also got lots of different pots. I've got some peas out here, which are probably a bit too early to plant out, but I've done it. In my raised bed, I've got some carrots. There's some chard, even though it says parsnip, but that's definitely chard. There's some radish fire candle, which I'm growing for the first time, which I'm really excited about. These are a whole load of purple sprouting broccoli, which I'm going to grow a couple in my raised bed, and then I'm also going to give some of these to friends and family and plant some up at the local care home. Hopefully it's my first time growing those, so exciting. Then in the greenhouse, there is so much stuff in here, it's absolute chaos. I'll cut to a clip to show you so much in here. I've got my cosmos, I've got loads of stalks, cucumbers, courgettes, phlox, some amaranthus, some corn cockles. I've got some snapdragon, zinnia, some more purple sprouting broccoli. There are lots of tomatoes in here, different salad leaves, some lavatera, I think it's called. I also have some calendula in here. So yeah, it's chock-a-block, but lots of these things will be being planted out in May, so not too long to wait, but I literally cannot even get in there right now. I'm really happy with how everything's doing. I think the weather, the fact it's been so sunny for so long, a lot of these have done really well, so fingers crossed they all make it. We've also got this gorgeous, I think it's Morello cherry tree, which is currently in blossom, which is so gorgeous. I love it. The leaves are just coming through now. We also have a huge Clematis montana, which is covering this side of the fence because our neighbours built this building here, which actually has a window there, which I don't quite like. So I'm using the Clematis to cover it up. This is just about to flower now. I can see loads of different flowers on it. Also bees are all over it, which I love. I love to hear and see a bee in the garden. Yeah, I reckon in a couple of days, this is going to be full of flowers, which is so exciting. The top of the garden has become, if I'm honest, a little bit of a dumping ground for seedlings, which I don't have space for in the greenhouse. But I've got more sweet peas here, I've got some actual peas, some more snapdragons, some sunflowers, some runner beans, a couple of stalks. So this table is just a bit chaos at the moment, but hopefully all of these will be going to homes soon. But I also have my gorgeous water tank full of tulips. Some of them have gone over, but a lot of them are still looking lovely. I've got my ranunculus, so this is a butterfly ranunculus, which I actually saved from last year, which is probably the one that's doing the best. I haven't had the best luck with ranunculus this year, or any year if I'm honest. I'm not very good at growing them. I've got my ferns and my hostas up here because it's more shady up here, so they do better. Some of them are well on their way now. Also got another water tank full of tulips. I think this is Tulip Sarah Raven, which is one of my faves. And then I've got my gorgeous wheelbarrow, which is planted up with, this is some erigeron, so that should trail over the edge. I've got a couple of ranunculus in here, and I also have, which I've just noticed, some nasturtiums coming up, which I planted again to trail over the edge. I can also see I've got some nigella, which is coming up, which I planted in here direct, because I thought it would look really nice. So hopefully that survives, and that this is going to look really lovely come the summertime. And then this is our amazing Virginia creeper, which has just started to grow back. I really need to tie this in because it's dangling everywhere. But yeah, it's just started to grow back. So this, hopefully this year, should cover the majority of the pergola, which is really exciting. Actually, it provides quite a lot of privacy for that end of the garden when this is completely covered in leaves. So yeah, it shouldn't be too long before this is growing. It grows really fast. And in this water tank, I've also got a jasmine. I think this is jasmine clotted cream, which smells lovely. It's just started to grow back again, but I need to tie it in. And I've got a raised bed here, so this is actually going to be full of dahlias once they're ready to be planted out. I need to fix these stakes because they aren't looking too good. But yeah, I'm hoping to have a little cut flower patch of dahlias up here. It may be small, but we do actually have a pond in the garden, although it's looking so dirty and full of duckweed at the moment. I really need to give it a clean. But it does also have a solar powered fountain, which you can barely see right now because that also needs a clean, but it's just hooked up to the top of the pergola. So usually when it is clean and it's the height of summer, that'll be working all day. So a few plants in here, which I need to give a bit of a tidy. And then our lovely euphorbia at the back of the pond, which I love. I love it this time of year with the big lime green flowers. I guess they're flowers. So this part of the garden is mainly where I do all of my potting up and I store everything. So I've got lots of different pots under here, all of my canes and my tools. But I also have started a bit of a herb garden. So I've got some chives and some basil, which isn't looking very well. Some coriander, I've got some rosemary here, and I've started a little salad bar here. So we've got salad, this is salad bowl, mustard red lace, some chives, some coriander. And then I've got a couple of things like some pelargoniums here and up on the wall too. And we also have another David Austin. This is the Danahue rose, which was their new rose a couple of years ago. And again, this one's got loads of flower buds on it, which is gorgeous. And it's done really well in the pot actually. So This is a shrub rose, I think. This part of the garden, like everywhere, is pretty busy, but this is our patio. So along here I've got my tiered pot display full of loads of different spring flowers. There's loads of different bulbs in here. We've got some narcissus, some tulips, lots of the different Sarah Raven tulip collections too. Yeah, some of them are starting to go over, but a lot of them are still going strong. And a lot of the narcissus are from the highly scented collection from Sarah Raven, and the smell is insane. I don't really have a colour scheme, but I've been really enjoying all of the different colours and different varieties popping up. It's a bit of a surprise because you know what I'm like, I'm not very good at labelling. I also have got loads of plants behind me which are just enjoying the sun today. They've come out from either the greenhouse or inside just to enjoy the sun and get a bit of breeze. Got a few of my metal bathtubs planted up with some of the different Sarah Raven collections. So these are still going strong, but some of them are, you can see some of the tulips are actually past their best. So I'm going to be replacing these with some of the plants I've been growing from seed. So I will share exactly what I do when I lift my bulbs. Also, my new favourite watering cans. And also on the patio, I have got my other greenhouse. So this was the first greenhouse that I bought, and I still use it all of the time because actually this greenhouse gets slightly more sun than my other one. So this is really good for the summer because I grow all of my chilies and my tomatoes in here. But for now, it's mainly full of dahlias, which are doing really well. But honestly, as you can see, it's pretty busy in here. So I've got some tomatoes, some chilies, loads of different seedlings in here, which have been growing on. Yeah, all of my dahlias nearer the top and in here and here. And yeah, it's pretty busy, but most of these things are going to be planted out in the next few weeks. So that's my spring garden for you. I really hope you've enjoyed having a little tour with me and my first YouTube video, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm going to try and share it throughout the seasons, showing you how things are changing, more stuff that I'm doing as things begin to flower and I begin to switch a few things around, and particularly the veg garden, which is a whole new endeavour for me this year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to sharing my garden with you some more.